One financial decision can change the entire course of your life. Did you realize that? Do you understand how powerful this tool called money actually is? I know this because when I was 19 years old, I made one financial decision involving $500 that changed the entire course of my life. So in this video, I want to talk about that decision and tell you how money in just $500 changed the entire course of my life. So let's begin. This is a picture of me when I was 19 years old, about 10 years ago. And I was headed to Europe on my second solo backpacking trip for 3 months. That year, I had saved up just enough money to travel to Europe for about 3 months on a backpacker's budget. And I actually still have the map of where I went on that trip. 2013, I went to Europe. So let me show you where I went. I started the trip in Spain, at Madrid, right here. And I went around Spain. I even went to Africa. I went to Morocco. It's not on the map. And then I flew to Belgium, went to the Netherlands, took the train to Germany, to Denmark, Sweden, came all the way back. Then I went to the Czech Republic, Poland, Austria, Hungary, Croatia, and then finally finishing in Germany. And this was a trip of a lifetime. It was a trip that most people spend their entire lives dreaming about, but it never happens. I went to 13 countries in this one single trip in 3 months. It was incredible. And I'd love to show you a slideshow of all the different pictures of this trip, but I just want to show you one picture because this was the moment when my life started to change for the better. And this was the moment when I realized that I loved traveling. I loved meeting new people, trying new things, and I just loved to be on the move. And at this moment, I wanted to travel as much as I could for as long as I could. But I knew that there was one thing standing in the way between me and traveling. And it's the number one thing you need to travel. And of course, it's money. And the problem was that after this trip, I needed to buy a car. My previous car broke, and for 3 months before this trip, I was just riding a bike around, and it wasn't a practical thing to do. And I knew that if I got a car, all my money would be going to the car and I couldn't be able to afford to travel. So that was the thing that was stopping me from continuing to travel. And I actually remember writing in my diary right here that I wanted to continue traveling, but I knew that I couldn't afford to do it because of the car. And then when I got back, at the end of that trip, my mom picked me up at the airport. And on our drive home, she said, "Austin, I have a friend that's selling a car for $500. And about 2 weeks later, I handed over $500 cash, and I was the very proud owner of a 1986 Toyota Camry. Literally, that was the car of my dreams. And it might not sound significant. That $500 purchase might not sound significant at all, but that $500 changed the entire course of my life. So in the rest of this video, I want to talk about the things that I've learned from that $500 decision that I made when I was 19 years old. Number one, know what you want your money to do for you. At that point in my life, I wanted to use all my money traveling. And when the opportunity to buy a $500 car came up, I bought it because I didn't care what type of car it was. I just needed a car to get around. And so I could use more of my money to save for traveling. Money can literally change your life for the better if you use it wisely. So know what you want to do with it and spend and save it accordingly. Number two, know your circumstances. I'm not from a rich family, and I knew that if I wanted to travel the world, I was going to have to pay for it myself with my own money. And the only thing that was stopping me was a car. So I could either choose to buy a new car and have a car payment, use all my money for the car payment, or I can get this $500 car and not have a car payment and use my money to travel. This was the best case scenario for my circumstances. So know your circumstances. Number three, recognize an opportunity. When my mom told me about this $500 car, it was like a sign from the gods. It was a sign from the universe telling me that if I got this car, I wouldn't need a car payment. And if I didn't need a car payment, I could travel the world because I could save my money to travel the world. So learn how to recognize an opportunity because opportunities don't come often. Number four, jump on the opportunity as fast as you can. When my mom told me about this car, I wanted her to stop her car at that moment, to call the lady and tell her that I was interested because I was so afraid that the opportunity would go. So whenever an opportunity comes your way, jump on it as fast as you can. Number 5, things go away. Experiences last a lifetime. Money can allow you to do some incredible things if you let it. In the US, we often use our money to buy things, to buy material possessions, and these all will eventually go away. My 1986 Toyota Camry is gone, but the experiences that I had in my travels will stick for me the rest of my life. So use your money on things that will stick with you, because those things will never go away. Number 6, even $500 can change your life. Most people act like they need to win the lottery in order for money to change your life, but you don't need as much as you think. In my situation, $500, that $500 car changed the entire course of my life. So don't think that you need to win the lottery for money to change your life. You need a lot less than you think. If I didn't have that opportunity to buy that $500 car, my story would have ended. The story of my travels would have stopped in Europe when I was 19 years old. But when I handed over that $500, I didn't have to worry about a car payment. I didn't have to worry about financing a car. And I could use all my money to save for traveling. And I did. And in 6 years, I went to 35 countries on 5 continents. I went to Machu Picchu. I went to the Amazon jungle. I bought a motorbike and motorbiked from Hanoi to Saigon in Vietnam. I ate exotic foods. I learned a second language. I did everything that I wanted to do because of that decision, that $500 decision that I made when I was 19 years old. Money can literally change your life. And you don't need $1 million, because $500 was all it took to change mine. And with that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please show your support by clicking the like button and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for your time, and have a good day. I'm driving down an empty freeway.